All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you. Phoenix Sports Restaurant is the site, getting ready to have a great lunch here with Mike Shelley and the gang. Make sure you get down here for lunch and dinner. Gift certificates are available for the holidays. You can go next door and bet on the ponies as well. They've got all the big horse races throughout the country on all these monitors that you see around here. You can kind of get your own booth and do your own thing here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant as well. So make sure you get here, try their unbelievable cheeseburger mac and cheese, buffalo wing mac and cheese. Their burgers are killer. The wings are amazing. They've got great salads and soups. Make sure you get down here. They've got awesome beers on tap and in the bottle as well here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant, a proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. Looking forward to the new year as well, so we can try to plan another event here as well. Well, this video is basically kind of a scenario for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not necessarily saying that they should do it, but the proof is now in the pudding times two. It was one thing to have Nick Foles go actually times three. It was one thing to have him going, last year, the entire season. It was another thing to see him go and win a Super Bowl and make that deep playoff run. Now it's a whole other ball of wax. He started the year this year. Wentz comes back, and now Wentz is out again, and then Foles goes in there, and literally the Eagles do not skip a beat. They don't miss a single thing. Nick Foles running the offense, maybe even better than Carson Wentz. I feel like when the Eagles are underdogs, I feel like when the Eagles are back to the dog mask Eagles and the Nick Foles quarterbacking and all the rest, I feel like that's where they thrive the most. I feel like when they get overconfident and they get over, cocky, that team just kind of folds like a tent. They start to lose focus. They think that they're just going to win because they won the Super Bowl. Now what you've got is Carson Wentz out and Nick Foles in, and they play better with Nick Foles. They really do. The offense throws the ball all over Hell's Half Acre. Doug Peterson says that it's a simple transition from Wentz to Nick Foles, but let's be honest here, folks. I mean, who's he trying to fool when you look at the way they open up the playbook even more when Nick Foles is in there? So here's a scenario that I'm putting out there. I know Nick Foles is 29 years old, and I realize that Carson Wentz is a generational talent. But could you imagine, and I just want you to think about it, could you imagine, whether you're an Eagles fan or not, most of you are football fans watching this, could you imagine the Eagles saying, screw it, we're going with Nick Foles, and let's absolutely positively trade Carson Wentz? Could you imagine the haul that the Philadelphia Eagles could get in the upcoming NFL draft and the draft after that, and they could commit to Nick Foles for the next, 4 to 5 to 7 years? And remember, the age of 29 for Nick Foles isn't the old 29. 29 used to be more like 30, 31, the way guys used to get hit. Now the way the rules are and all the rest, quarterbacks are taking less hits, they're taking less shots to the head, they're taking less shots to the knees. Their receivers are taking less shots as well. The pressure is what it is. It isn't close to what you can do, what you used to be able to do on the defensive side of the football. So you got to add that into it as well. Maybe Nick Foles has another couple years extra than he would have had 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. I just think it's a scenario that the Eagles should think about. I'm not saying that they should do it, but it's something that they should think about. The problem is, while you could have 5 to 7 years of Nick Foles, the Eagles are hoping for 10 years of Carson Wentz, right? I mean, they're hoping that this guy, who appears to be one of the most talented players we've seen come out of the NFL draft at the position, he passes the entire look test. He just looks like a quarterback. He's the big, strong guy. He throws it all over the place. He's an accurate type of dude. They're looking for him to be literally like the Andrew Luck of the Philadelphia Eagles. They're looking for him to be the Russell Wilson of the Philadelphia Eagles. They're looking for him to be the Big Ben Roethlisberger of the Philadelphia Eagles, the Tom Brady of the Philadelphia Eagles, the Drew Brees of the Philadelphia Eagles. They're looking for that guy. And look, Wentz is incredible. When he's healthy, he throws the ball all over the place. He's super, super tall, and his arm strength is through the roof. You could kind of see a little bit of the moxie and the focus when he got into the NFL right away. Possibly a generational talent. But the problem is Carson Wentz has already had a major knee injury in terms of the ACL. He's now out again right now, and he won't probably finish the year for Philadelphia. And Nick Foles has been absolutely, positively unbelievable. I mean, going all the way back to last year, this guy has been something else. And when you look at the confidence that this team has in Nick Foles, when you look at the way the team plays with extra confidence in terms of the defensive side of the football, I mean, what was that on Sunday? That was easily the best defensive performance by the Eagles all year long, and it was against arguably the best offense in the NFL. And it was on the road. Now, granted, I'm not sure that the road really helps out the Rams, just like I don't think it helps out the Chargers, because it looks like there's more displaced NFL fans in LA than actual fans of the Los Angeles teams. Having said that, it's still a road game. You have to travel. You had to go across the country. You had to do all that shit. And the Eagles came out firing on all cylinders, both offensively and defensively, opportunistic. Granted, Jared Goff played like garbage, but isn't some of that playing like garbage for Goff having to do with the Eagles and that terrific scheming of Jim Schwartz, who is one of the great defensive coordinators we've seen in the last 15, 20, 30 years in the NFL? I happen to think so. This team rallies around Nick Foles. There's a different feeling. There's a different, I picked the Rams to win that game by a couple of touchdowns, but I also thought to myself, geez, what if they come out and play the way they did in the postseason last year? What happens if they, get this underdog, dog mask Nick Foles feeling again and go on the road and beat the Rams? I mean, this is an Eagles team with Nick Foles. I'm telling you, they're completely and utterly different. There's more swagger. There's more confidence. There's more scheming. The defense comes to play. And for some reason or another, receivers go up and make more plays. Look at the plays Alshon Jeffrey was making against the LA Rams. Look at the routes that Al Galore is running. Look at the no-name running backs going for enough yardage to balance out the offense as well. So this is a tremendous, tremendous situation to look at in the offseason. Again, I'm not saying that they should do it, but the Eagles absolutely, positively should look at what they could get for Carson Wentz. What happens if they get Carson Wentz out there? They dangle him out there for all the teams in the NFL draft, and let's just say they get 2 first-rounders in 2019 and a second-rounder in 2019, and they get 2 third-rounders and 2 fourth-rounders in 2020. What happens if they could trade away Wentz and literally get 7 or 8 picks in the NFL draft? Is that worth it? I don't know. I've talked all year long about how I think it was big time worth it for Khalil Mack, for the Bears to get Khalil Mack rather than pay him all that money and give up all those draft picks. But Khalil Mack is a lot more established, in my opinion, in a few years in the NFL than Carson Wentz is. I thought it was worth it for the Cowboys to get Amari Cooper. I know they just lost to the Colts and looked like shit, but the reality is they needed another weapon for Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. So that was worth it for them as well, even though they paid a high price. Carson Wentz probably is showing at least as much or more than Amari Cooper, but Khalil Mack, if he stays healthy, he's going straight to the Hall of Fame. We don't know what Carson Wentz is going to be because of the injury. I am just saying that they should look at it. I'm not saying do it, but I'm saying look at it. And if Doug Peterson can get more toys in the toy closet for his offense, and they can get a couple more guys on defense, they can get a shutdown corner, I'm telling you right now, that might be a situation that the Eagles look at because they rally around and play differently with Nick Foles as the quarterback. I'm Mike Lindsley here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant, wrapping up 9 minutes with you on IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. Make sure you hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports and Snapchat and Instagram, Mike L Sports 1979. And you can also, on my podcast, download it, subscribe, leave feedback, share it on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. We are also available on TuneIn, Radio Public, Deezer, Stitcher, and CastBox. Happy holidays. Get down here, lunch, dinner at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. A great place, awesome ambiance, and you can, of course, bet the horses on the big screens right there next door at the Phoenix OTB. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.